Welcome to episode 23 of Cowboy Bebop. Last time, we had a very entertaining episode with Andy the Cowboy, so we'll see what we get this time. It's called Brain Scratch, so who knows? We're going to watch it and discuss it at the end. Subtitles and timer are on the screen if you want to follow along. Or you can pull up the episode by yourself. But either way, let's watch episode 23. In 3, 2, 1, play. Let's see what we've got this time. Still getting pretty close to the end. We'll see if we focus. How many episodes are just going to be fully episodic? How many are going to be like really heavy character focused? We'll see what we get, but yeah, Cowboy Funk gave me a little bit of an idea. I didn't know at the time. I didn't know we'd be with an actual cowboy, or a guy pretending to be a cowboy. But with the title Brain Scratch, well, I kind of got to scratch my brain a little as to what that's going to be about. I don't know. But while the OP is playing, let me say that if you enjoy these videos, subscribe to the channel. There's a new episode of Cowboy Bebop every Friday, and other videos every day of the week. And check out the description down below. There's Twitter and Discord if you want to come check that stuff out. And there's Patreon. If you want to support the channel, get early videos, you can get them a week early, you can get them even earlier than that. Polls, exclusive vlogs. Great times for everybody. So yeah. Finishing this show soon also means that's another great opening that I won't be hearing anymore. Of course, I can go listen to it anytime I want. I was saying this about Steins Gate recently, but you know, it's cool to come back to this every time I watch a new episode and to have a good opening. It's sad when you get to a final episode and you're like, I'm not going to hear this opening anymore. And of course, I can listen to it on my own, rewatch it, but just in this initial viewing of the show, this is my last time hearing it, and that's kind of sad if it's an opening you like. So we're starting off with some kind of video playing here. Whoa, hello. Am I being hypnotized? Is my soul being attacked right now? This? Yes? Is this Scientology? Our souls are gods? And our bodies can't contain them? Well, then where are they contained? What is happening? Who are you, sir? Why are you... Why do I feel like you would try to touch me inappropriately? You're creepy. We do have desires, yes. Sure. Yes. Okay, this man's like, throw away all desires. Awaken to the true religion and give me your money. How do you be rid of your body? Okay, have they uploaded to the cloud? Okay. Freaky religious fanatics in this episode, I guess. Cool. Cosmic Broadcasting Community. Well then. What do we got? Londes? Whoa. Yeah, it's a cult. Insane order. Suicide, okay. Brainwave control devices. They're going into Sword Art Online. That's a true punishment. I don't... We're gonna need... Has there been scientific studies about this? I'm sure they believe it. I have no opinion on Sword Art Online. I've never seen it. Not what I expected this episode to be about. He's just trapped in his virtual world. Afraid that her husband got wrapped up in that and has gone off to transfer his soul. Okay. Some exercise equipment. What if this episode is entirely on the TV screen? That looks like Faye. What's happening? We might actually... Holy shit. I was just thinking that we could actually do that. We could have the entire episode on the... like, on TV channels. If the main characters... Oh, never mind. God damn it. If the main characters get involved, we could view all their actions through the TV. But then that would have been cool. If the entire episode was through that viewpoint. It might have gotten a little old, though. But here we have Faye getting into it here. I thought it had been a while since she'd been back. So that's what she is. It's cool that we're getting a lot of this, though. This is pretty entertaining. So just virtual reality games. So the people who made this show, they envisioned this technology, but they didn't envision wireless game controllers. That's a thing. Murder. It's counted as murder because of his cult members committing suicide, is that right? Obviously, she's there for the bounty. Interesting. It's a pretty big shift. Pretty big undertaking. Alright, if that's what that guy thinks. You know, if this guy had a message from God and he becomes religious, good for him. He can go do whatever he wants. I don't care. It's got nothing to do with me. But then when you do this, people start committing suicide and you're just running a cult. That's where the problems start to come in. I don't know if he's got ulterior motives from this. I don't know what's actually happening here. I don't know. We'll see. Hello. He's armed. And so is she. Surrounded by screens. Whoa, look at that. Got dead bodies all over the place. Whoa. Tripping. What's going on? Right. Well, Faye's in trouble. Edward's searching the net. Gotta join, gotta try to infiltrate. Why are they all over the ground? Are people tossing them out? Yep. I don't know if you get to meet the leader just like that. Okay. There's actually a movie that I watched on Netflix one time that has a... I don't remember what it was called. It has a similar type of thing going on in it. I'll talk about it in the discussion. Just trying to find this guy, not having much luck. Now I'm going to be distracted trying to remember what that movie was called. It's not going to be that easy to just see him. We're going to have to plug our souls into the thing, or I don't know. Yeah, now it's suspicious. We can't find this guy. I'm doubtful. Don't know what's going to happen. Don't know what they're going to reveal. What's up? Oh, okay. Oh, you had low ratings? What the hell? Why is that? She didn't even know? Okay. No more, no more Bounty Hunter show. How sad. Maybe that means this is the last episode where they'll get a bounty. Maybe the last few will just be other stuff. Nothing. What's this? Oh, Faye. A little. But her getting into that trouble might be what lets us find this guy. Oh, look at all the stuffed animals. A jet fits perfectly into that crowd. He's got to wait in line for the toy. All right, let's go. He's got his VR headset. Hi. This is a cool idea for an episode. I'm glad they did that. I really want to see where it goes. Just enter your social security number, mother's maiden name, just everything, normal stuff. Marshall Banana. Whoa, Ein does not like what he sees. We don't know. I wouldn't say they cannot possibly exist. We don't know. Wow, Ein is upset. Whoa. But this guy clearly believes this is the way. And there he goes. Okay, well, Ein saved him. Ein got him out of it. Why? Like, what was it? What was it? It was, okay, a high frequency. Something that only Ein could pick up. Okay, so clearly it affects your body with this frequency. Good job, Ein. Looking good. All right, let Ein join the cult. What did that say? Gina something? What is it doing? Don't fry poor Ein's brain. That sounded like the sound effect from Ratchet and Clank. It sounded like the laser sound effect. Like in Going Commando on that one planet where you control the laser on the ceiling. That's what I think of. Anyway, counterfeit, huh? Looking spiffy. Whoa, look at Ed all dressed up. Same place. A mountain of TVs. And Faye over here. Good act. It's fine, don't worry about it. I'm a loving father, can't you see? So what's going on with Faye? They all slept to death, so this guy's communicating now from where he is. Is that all you can say? Good cover. And it's getting to him. It's the saddest story I've ever heard. He drove her literally insane. She is brain damaged now. Please let us in. This is true. They decided to do it. Many reasons. That can be one. There are some certainties. Pretty much. I personally agree with that statement, but, you know. Yeah, we know all those records were counterfeit. Apparently from this guy. Pizza? It's the greatest. Of course. people were being fooled pretty long before TV came around. And now we have the internet, and well... It's true, like, if this is what you want, then go do it yourself. Hearing his real voice come out. Well, it's unfortunate that that his body is the way that it was. I don't know what happened to the guy. Only 13, huh? Okay, so just some medical accident. So he's still very young. Yeah, if you wanted to go be like that, you didn't have to bring in other people, but it's interesting, like what he found he thought was right. He thought that was like the pathway to salvation, and he wanted to bring other people in. Didn't play out how I thought it would, with him being this kid in a hospital. You know, we started the episode and the first thing I think is just straight up con artist. No text at all there at the end. No "See You Space Cowboy" or anything. That was an interesting episode, an interesting follow-up to Cowboy Funk. So, let's go ahead and discuss it. Alright, episode 23. This was kind of a strange episode. It was one of the more unique ones, not something that I expected. Didn't expect them to cover a story like this. And watching it, I really didn't know where it was going to go. It was interesting and unique just watching it play out, because it's an interesting idea. It's a good setup with this guy, Londes, who's got a real creepy-ass demeanor, creepy face right at the intro. I loved the start of the episode, seeing all these TV screens, all the things on the screen, seeing this guy and his freaky cult message, and just wondering throughout the episode where it was going to go. What's this guy's deal going to be? What is the message of this episode going to be? What are they going to do about all this? Wondering where it was going to go. Made it for definitely an interesting, kind of strange watch. You're like, alright, this guy saying that you can upload your brain to the cloud, your soul can leave your body and you can live elsewhere, you can live in the digital world. And so you're wondering, like, okay, is this guy insane? Is he gonna somehow turn out to be right in some weird way? Is it gonna be ambiguous? Is he just gonna be a con artist? What's the deal with this whole thing gonna be? I didn't expect it to play out the way that it did. It's very reminiscent of Bohemian Rhapsody, where you've got this guy with this complex plan, he's doing this big scheme, and then you get to him at the end and he's now an old man who doesn't even remember any of it. This is a similar kind of thing, where you've got this guy pulling off this big thing that's getting a lot of traction, and then it turns out he's just some kid who is just comatose in a hospital and had a tragic history. So, similar in that way, which was interesting, getting to him at the end and seeing his true motivation, that he was just tragically put into this vegetative state at a really young age, and I guess was lonely and resentful, and that's just what brought about all of this. But I liked seeing all the different perspectives from the different TV channels that we got to see, like seeing this group and their message, seeing them being investigated, being talked about on the news, infiltrated by somebody like Faye in order to get the bounty, talked about on Big Shots, which is getting canceled for low ratings. What's the deal with that? I mean, I guess it's not appealing to anybody other than bounty hunters, so there's that. But you'd think they would have factored that into the creation of the program, like their budget relative to how many people would presumably watch, and most bounty hunters probably watch it, right? That's where we get our information so often. But poor guys, they're not going to be on anymore. So I'm wondering if this is the last like purely episodic episode where we just go get a bounty, and then the last couple are going to be more character and closure focused for ending the series, and so that was their way of saying that. I don't know, but it was cool seeing like the technology, like video games showing this was made in the late 90s, so their vision of video games even in the future, they didn't imagine wireless controllers. We've got virtual reality and sending your brain into this other place, but wireless controllers, they didn't quite think of that one. Or stuff that's dated like that, like where he's talking about how TV is the new religion. Obviously doesn't really apply anymore, but you can easily just replace that with the internet or whatever you want. The message of what he's saying still rings true, even if the details are different. And it's just an interesting idea. It's something that's been explored in a lot of different things. And just thinking about like the type of people who would get involved in something like this, like you have Faye, who obviously went to infiltrate them and try to get the bounty, but her reason stated for being there, saying I've lived a debt-filled life and I want to escape that debt, that's like a reason that somebody would actually go try to do something like that. And Faye, who knows, if she got desperate enough, if she wasn't with Spike and Jen and them anymore, and just she really felt she had no choice, maybe she would do something like this as a last resort. You never know, like the kind of people who would just buy into this. And during the reaction, I mentioned a movie that I watched that had a similar kind of thing going on. I couldn't remember the name, but I looked it up and it was called The Discovery. I didn't think it was a very good movie. It was like very middling, but it had an interesting idea where, from what I remember, scientists like proved that there is some kind of afterlife. They were able to detect that there is like a thing that they deemed the soul that leaves your body when you die and goes somewhere. And they were able to prove that. And people started killing themselves all over the place. Like a ton of people killed themselves because of that. They're like, well, shit, I want to go to heaven then. And they just killed themselves. And it was an interesting idea. And what the actual afterlife in that movie ended up being was an interesting idea. But as a whole, the movie was, I remember it being kind of boring. But that's not the point. It's an interesting idea. Like wondering what is going on with these people. Why would they get wrapped up in something like this? What exactly does it mean to remove your brain, your mind from your body and live outside of it? It's the kind of thing that could definitely be expanded on more if there was more time devoted to it. Just this group building up popularity, more people getting involved, more people taking drastic measures. But yeah, for just what it is, just presenting the idea here, it's interesting stuff. And the scene with Jet at A9 was really good. Jet just being in line at like the toy store with all these kids, totally not fitting into that environment at all, to get this headset and them trying to get in. Ein's contribution, noticing the issues, being able to pick up on this frequency that they couldn't, and getting Jet out of there, and then wearing the visor himself. It was a really good image, and just controlling it all, getting in there and figuring it all out. That was a fun scene. And of course, the father-daughter pair going to the hospital. Her twin brother is here in the hospital, and she's been driven insane. And that was fun, watching them dress up and play those parts together. But yeah, it's just an interesting episode to think about. It leaves you with some things to ponder, just about like this whole situation and the things this guy talks about and how he felt about people viewing things like TV as a religion, why people would believe in God or religion or something like this, why they would believe in something and why they would follow that kind of thing so desperately. Like, what about people makes them want to have something to believe in? Which you would just go on about that kind of thing forever. Now, this was technically these people's own choice. Like, you can say this man is a con artist, a manipulator, whatever, but he said these people decided to have faith in this thing, and they went along with it. So you gotta wonder, like, is that more on them? Is that more on him for getting them there in the first place? But as Spike says, if you're gonna dream, dream alone. Don't wrap other people into this. Let them live their real lives, the things that are here, tangible, that we know are real, that have meaning to us, the things we actually care about in our real physical lives. Let's focus on that rather than trying to escape to some potential dream that you have faith might maybe be there. Ultimately, it wasn't one of my favorite episodes, but it's definitely one of the more interesting and unique ones, and it was just enjoyable to watch with not knowing where it was going to go. And then it's one of the more interesting ones to think back on, and it would be one of the ones that I would most enjoy rewatching, honestly. Like, most of the ones that if I were just to rewatch certain episodes of the show, I would pick out my favorites. Ballad of Fallen Angels, Pierrot Le Fou, whatever. But this one, despite not really being one of my favorites, not standing out as much of those, would be one of the ones that I would probably rewatch. Knowing where it goes would probably give you a slightly different perspective on a lot of it, and it's stuff to think about. Food for thought. So let me know your thoughts on this episode. There's probably a decent amount that can be said if you want to go into it in the comments. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed. Check out all the description stuff down there as well. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one.